to be what I could never be. 'Cause I could never find the way. Kept on believing there was only so much time it should take. But it's not right to live your life there. 'Cause we are lost.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Ilmatica. I need to. I'm gonna hit you up soon, Ilmatica. Because I am gonna get on the track that we're doing, but there's just been a lot of stuff going on recently that I'm going to air out in this live. That I'm going to completely air out in this live because, wow, the things that I'm hearing from not just labels that I've been dealing with, but from other labels that some of my friends have been dealing with, is just fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And instead of just sitting back and being, don't talk bad about nobody. No, it's all getting fucking aired out. I don't care. Because this is what they want us to do. They want us to stay quiet. They don't want us to pass on the information of how they're fucking people over. And I'm not having it anymore. I'm not having it. So round up your people, them. Get as many people in here. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about contracts. We're going to talk about verbal contracts and how that leads to mistrust. We're going to talk about royalties. We're going to talk about radio plays. We're going to talk about everything. Every single thing. I don't care how long it takes. Any questions that you have, you can ask me. There's a little question icon at the bottom there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to go through all of the questions and I'm going to give you the real from my experience. Yeah? I'm going to give you the whole fucking real. Yeah? But to give some context to how all of this has started. Yeah? To give some context to how all of this has started. I am signed. Fuck it, I'm saying it. I have signed music to Liquid Lab. Collab Recordings. Yeah? Now, they are a label that deals with formal contracts. They deal with informal contracts, verbal contracts, and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And for the longest time, for the last year that I've been signed on the label, I've just taken their word on everything. On everything. They want stems. They want me to send out stems for mastering. I send them the stems. I give it to them. And that they want me to do this, they want me to do that, I do it, no questions asked. Why? Because I want my music to go out on a respectable label and to get the push that even I'm going to give the push myself. I'm going to push it out. It's my music, I'm excited about it, so I'm going to put in the work to make sure it goes out. I'm not just going to depend on the label, and they know this. Each label knows this. But when it comes to Liquid Lab and Collab Recordings and stuff, I've had one project out on there called Voices Volume 1. And that went out a year ago. And there was a new project that's due to come out with myself and Sahela. Now, the issue arose when it came to mastering. I thought mastering was supposed to go one way and finding out that it's gone another way. Cool, that's fine. Bit of a mix up there, should have been told in the beginning. Cool, it's not gone that way. Where the problem arises is when a problem comes up and you start to dig deeper. You start to dig deeper into things. Dig deeper into things. Okay, why is this going on? Okay, cool. Because this is going on and this is going on. And people haven't got the time. The workload is too big. There's things going on in the background. All this kind of stuff. But all of this is presenting itself as a problem now, at the most important time when music is supposed to be going out. Okay, cool. I go away and I try and figure out what I can do to try and rectify the situation. Is it me? Is it the stems that I've sent out? Is it anything that I have done? I go away to try and figure that out. I speak to my friends to try and figure these things out. And you know what happens when I do that? I find out that there's more problems going on than I actually realized. Now, you see, when it comes to this whole trying to run a business off friendship shit, all of that needs to go out of the fucking window. Because you know what friends do for friends? Friends give friends the benefit of the doubt. Friends give friends the chance that they would normally never give to a person that they don't know. So when I'm being told, when I'm being brought into a situation where we're all friends, we can all trust each other, and then that trust starts to get broken, all that friendship talk goes completely out of the window. We all know this. This is life. All that friendship talk goes completely out of the window. So like I said before, verbal contracts, informal contracts, and that. But yet I'm being asked to pay for mastering out of this verbal contract. I have an issue with the mastering because the mastering hasn't turned out the way that I thought it would. Yet I'm paying for it. Okay, if that's what I'm being asked to pay for, I'm going to ask, how much am I paying for that? I'm making the music. When the music is put out, the royalties, any money that comes back in goes towards those costs. I am paying for this mastering, but I don't like how these masters are sounding. I don't like what I've sent out and what has been sent back. I don't like how it's sounding, yet I'm being asked to pay for it out of the work that I have done. I'm being asked to pay for it. Of course, if I'm being asked to pay for something, I'm going to want to know how much am I paying. Now, you see where these verbal contracts come into play? You see how much these verbal contracts can cause a problem? If there isn't anything written in black and white in the beginning, I'm not going to know this information. If I now come to you for this information and you don't already have it laid out in a spreadsheet, in this, that, or the fucking other, and it's still going off your word, how much trust can I have in that? Oh, but we're friends, we're family, we can work this out. Okay, cool, send me a breakdown. I get sent a breakdown, and it's just a list of words and numbers, track titles, project titles, and numbers next to it. And then I apparently owe money. There's a minus next to this amount. I am going to ask, what do I owe this money for? There's no amount that this money that I owe is being taken from. And in terms of a contract, I've not got a contract to look back to say, okay, this is how much this release has cost. Yet I've got a breakdown telling me that I owe money. There is a problem when it comes to verbal contracts. Because I'm sorry to whoever's listening. Because at this point, I cannot trust the word you are saying. At this point. Why? Because nothing was confirmed in black and white from the beginning. But this is what people do. Oh, don't worry about that. Oh, contracts don't mean a thing anyway. You need this for a contract to be legal. You need that for a contract to be fucking legal. So don't worry about a contract. Just trust me. Just trust me. I've already done that. I've already put my trust in you, and now we're getting to this point and nothing makes sense. But you're asking me to trust you even more. I say, this breakdown that you've given me doesn't make sense. I get told that's how it comes out of the system. But then in another sentence, I get told, well, you've got the information on the spreadsheet. You can pull all that together and send it me in an email. Right, okay then. So you have got the information. But you were hoping the little piece of shit breakdown that you sent me would be enough for me to just look at and think, oh, I don't understand this. I'm not going to fucking ask no questions. Or I don't understand this, but I'm just going to trust what he says, that everything is a fucking above board. What is this mental gymnastics that we're supposed to fucking go through? And then if we question it, we get told, oh, well, we do this and we do that, and we put a lot of energy and we put a lot of this, and I put a lot of myself into the scene and What about the work and the energy that I put into making this fucking tune? Making this music to put out on? What about the hours that I have spent trying to figure out whether this bass line goes with that, whether these drums really work, whether the EQ set out on this, hours, days, Months even. What about all the times when, all right, we're going to build a track. We're going to build an EP, yeah? We're going to build an EP. We just need 4 tracks. Cool. I go away and make music for this EP. I send music off. Oh, I'm not feeling that one. Okay, cool. I've got to put that one to the side. But that's one track I've spent hours on. So I go away, spend hours on another track that I'm making. Send that off. Oh, I'm not feeling that one. Boom. That's it. What about all that time? What about all that time and effort that we put into all of that? What about all of that? This is what I mean where I say that once it gets to label stages, the artist is no longer considered. No longer considered. It just turns into business. The artist's feelings don't matter. What the artist is going through doesn't matter. You know why I say this? 2 months ago, I was at the point of fucking off this whole shit. I'm talking to each of these labels. Look, this is how I feel. It's causing me to fuck up my mental health. I'm done with all this social media bullshit, but I know I need social media to promote my music. Label, are you okay with having an artist that is not willing to be on social media? Oh, we don't care about that. You don't need social media to release on our label. We just want to make sure you still want to make music with us. We care about you. We'll look after you. 2 months later, this is how you're looking after your artists. This is how you're looking after your artists. Yeah? People. If a label approaches you, takes music off you, and does not instantly present you with a contract that you can read through and you can choose to agree with or not. If they don't do that, do not sign with them. Don't do it. Do not give them your hard work, your blood, sweat and tears, your anxiety, your depression, trying to figure out whether this tune is going to work or not. If they are not willing to do everything proper from the beginning, if they are not willing to give you proof of what they are asking you to pay for, do not work with them. Don't work with them. That is how they fuck you over. That is how they fuck you over. If you don't have anything to go back to in the beginning and they have your copyrights, because remember, when you release a track through a label, they own the copyright, not you. They own it. Once that music is out, it is out. If you don't have any contract in the beginning, they can tell you anything and you have no proof. You have no proof. You have no leg to stand on. Don't listen to about, oh, I know Annie Mac. Oh, I'm Mr. Big Bollocks. Oh, I can get you bookings. I can do this. Don't listen to it. If they are not willing to give you a contract before anything else happens, do not listen to it. Do not sign with them. I know how excited you may be to finally get music out. It is not worth it for you to get fucked over further down the line. They feed off your excitement. They feed off the fact that they know more than you. But they fucked up with me. All of you, any of you labels, if you think you can deal with any of this shit with me and think I'm going to walk away like it's all fucking good, like you're fucking Vin Diesel out of Bomber Clark Fast and fucking Furious, like all you can say to me is family. And everything can bomber clot, you can fucking think again. Because then when I speak to other people, I'm hearing Low Down Deep is the same. Family, loyalty, You want to run a business of supposed friendship, supposed family. But then when it comes to the business, you're not willing to give. You're not willing to give your artists a breakdown for the year. You want to talk about, tone and shit. No, man. No, man. What did I say in the beginning? When it comes to this shit, the artist is the last person to be considered. The last. Because everyone who wants to feed off your talent and wants to make money off your talent, they're thinking about them first. Imagine signing music to a label and one of the label owners is getting paid before you do. Because he's mastering the music. How the fuck does that make sense? And then when the master doesn't come out, I'm not happy with the master. I've got to jump through all of these fucking loops, but I've still got to pay this person for their supposed time and effort they've invested. What about my time and effort that I invested making this fucking music in the first place? Are you lot mad? Is this real life? Really? Where's the mutual respect? Where's the mutual consideration? How does that work? How does any of this work? We've invested time and money. Yeah, that you're getting paid back before we even see a penny. But when it comes to crunch time, it's all about your time, your effort, what you've invested. Yet one of the label owners is getting paid before any of that. Subcontracting himself to get paid from his own label. How does that make me feel like you are actually investing anything if I still have to pay you first? Where's the respect for my time, my effort? Because what all these labels seem to forget is if you didn't have the music from us, you wouldn't have a fucking label. But because you're the label, you feel like you can throw your fucking weight around. And we must do whatever you say with no proof. With no proof. And what makes it worse, is when I call these things out, people will tell me, you're focusing on the negative, fuck all that shit, just focus on you, just look after number one, focus on your shit, just focus on the music. I am focusing on the music. This is my life. I put nearly 20 years of my life into this shit. My life. My blood, sweat and tears, my feelings, my insecurities, my depression, my happiness into this shit. And this is what I have to deal with just so then I can get my music out to the people. But you know what, labels? You know what labels? We have the internet now. We have the internet now. All you new artists that are out there, we have the internet now. You know why I'm the most vexed about this whole situation is because over the last year, I've done 4 self-releases off my own label, Spinal Records. Yeah, 4. No big numbers, no big promotion, no fucking engine behind them, yeah? And off those 4 releases, I have a little bit of change in a pot. No millions of streams, no big Spotify playlists. I have about £5. £5 in a pot. I've paid for my own artwork. I've mastered the music myself because that's what I've been learning to do over these last 20 years. Mastering engineers. been watching YouTube videos, tutorials. I went to college back in the day, didn't finish, but I went to college about music production. I started university, which told me a bit about the music business side of things. So we're not stupid. We're not stupid. But through the work that I've done myself, no, it's not big, massive numbers. No, it's not grand. But I've made more money off my own releases, 4 of them, off my own releases that I've done off my own back, than I have from this one release on Collab Recordings Liquid Lab. I have not seen a penny. Yet I can put the shit out on myself, pay £50 to United Masters, so I can upload as much original music through the year as I want. I get all my stats, I get all my breakdowns, which country, which city in that country, which area in that country is playing my music. I get all of that just for paying £50 to United Masters. I get all of that information myself. I've done that, and I've got a little bit of change sat in a pot that I can't touch because I have to reach a threshold. And that's more money than a release that I put out on a reputable label. How does this make sense? And then what makes it worse, I put music out. I've done 2 feature verses. Sorry, I'm sweating because I'm angry. But I've done 2 feature verses, yeah, on 2 EPs on a completely different label. And I have been paid more money from them than I have a full produced track of my own work on Liquid Lab. How does this make sense? I know sales can go up and down and this, that and the other, but that doesn't feel right. I've done less work on another label and got more money from there than I have with my own work. And on that other label, who is smaller than them and is working with less than them, they're able to give me full breakdowns. They're able to send me a contract that I can sign straight away. They're able to agree with whatever I want. Or not agree with whatever I want before anything goes fucking further. Yet a label that is reputable, that has been going for 10 years, can't do something as simple as that. It's not just this one label. It's loads of labels that I've dealt with that I'm now going round and I'm saying, yo, you see this fuckery you were dealing with? You're not dealing with it anymore. I've pulled so much music at the moment, because I'm not having it. I'm not being treated like I ain't shit when I'm the one who's done all the fucking work. Again, if you didn't have my music, you wouldn't have, if every artist was just to self-release right now, which we can all do, if every artist was to release their music themselves, what the fuck can a label do? Yet these labels want to throw their rate around. Well, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be who you are. If it wasn't for us making the music, you wouldn't have shit. Yet we're the ones who are always the last to be considered. Our time, our effort is always the last to be considered. But we have the internet now. So all these labels hiding behind the fact that, oh, we know more information than them. So yeah, we can do this, we can do that. Wow. Whoa, official René the Vice. I'm going to accept this request because it would be... Oh, official relevance now. Okay, I thought it was somebody else. The thing is, like, what also gets my goat is, whenever artists, like, bring up these concerns, bring up these things that they're worried about, we always get told that we seem ungrateful, or we're being bitter. Because we didn't blow up and we're not as big as this person or that person. We must be ungrateful. We must be bitter. When it's so further from the truth, it's so fucking it's infuriating. It's so infuriating that that's what's gonna get thrown in our face. When that's how we feel you guys are ungrateful. We feel you guys, you labels are ungrateful. We feel like you are taking the piss out of us from the very fact that you will use our naivety to not even present a contract, to not even give us the confidence to say we are going to hold up to our end of the bargain so much that here is a contract. You sign, I sign, we are both held to this agreement. But yet you want to both smoke up my ass about how fucking talented I am. Oh, you're so talented and we're going to do great things. We're going to do big things. You're so talented. But you can't even pay me for my talent. Pussy Clark, look, man, look. As an artist signed to your label who values my talent, you won't even give me an advance on that talent. Yet you want me to pay you, Mr. Label Owner, for a remix. A remix of one of your artist's tunes. You want me to pay for that, do you? You want me to pay for that. Your time and your effort needs to be compensated. Yet you know how much I have earned off my music that I've signed to your label. To your label. You have not paid, I have not earned enough, nowhere near enough money to pay for your remix fee. Yet you have the cheek to ask for a remix fee from an artist that is signed to your label. Your label. The same label that you are subcontracting yourself to get paid for masters from. What fucking planet am I on? But this is the music industry. 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 Not the music. Not the music. The industry. The business. And if you want to enter this industry, you have to agree to terms that will never be in your favor. Never. They will never be in your favor. Never. And they know that. These labels know that. They hope you don't know that. They hope you haven't done the research. They hope you haven't got the information. So they can take advantage of that. So people. And another thing. This goes for getting booked at events as well. This goes for getting booked at events as well. If they are not willing to present you with a contract, or they are not willing to sign the contract that you present to them, the booking is not worth it. I'm sorry, it's not. It is not worth it. Makes no sense putting it for the artist. Makes sense that they love it loads, a marketing and a cred, and then more people come through where it should be. Need to use commas. Nah, but yeah, I get that. I'm not sure you like. Yeah, I get that. But it's the same with those. It's the same with taking bookings as well. I know everyone's excited. We're coming out of lockdown. There's loads of bookings that's coming through. Just to clear something up as well. All these bookings that are coming out, they're bookings that have already been pre-planned. They're bookings that have already been pre-planned. They are bookings that have already been pre-planned. And that. But even when it comes to being booked, if they are not going to agree to a contract that you present them, or they are not going to present you with a contract, don't work with them. Don't work with them. Don't work with them. Don't just take their word for it. Don't just take anybody's word for it. Never just take anyone's word for it. Never. Not even mine. Not even mine. If you're signed to a label right now and you don't have a contract, go and ask them about contracts. Go and ask them about breakdowns. And if they can give you that breakdown which you can understand and you can see what exactly you are paying back and what for you are paying back, then yes, they're a good label. They should have been dealing with that in the first place. They should have been dealing with that in the first place. But if they can deal with that when you ask for it, cool, they're a good label. That's not the exception. You should have that information already from the start. That's the point. You should have that information already from the start. And if no one's willing to deal with you that way, trust me, it is not worth it. It really is not worth it. Because even if you do get paid off that verbal contract, it still leaves it open where if anything goes wrong, they can still go against that verbal contract. They can still go against it. Oh, well, we've not had enough people through the door, so I can't pay you what I agreed and said I was going to pay you. And then you've got to go home thinking you had more money, but you've not. Thinking, oh, I can do this, but I can pay for this, or better yet, you've got bills that you need to pay, you've got rent that you need to pay, you've got kids that you need to look after. You've just gone to the booking, you were going to get this amount of money, there's no one there. And now you've got to walk away with no peas. You were hoping that it could be anything. They didn't do enough promotion, they've clashed with another event, all this kind of shit. All this kind of shit. Yeah, you've done your own budgeting, you've made your own plans based on a verbal agreement that you had with them. And they've not been able to meet their side of the verbal agreement. Oh, but then you've got to consider everything that they're going through. Oh, this, or that, this event, or that. But you've still got to go away fucked. You've still got to go away fucked. Oh, well, I put this money into it and that money into it. I've invested this, that, and da. Cool. You know what? You should have had it down in writing. You should have had it down in writing then. If things go wrong, this is what's gonna happen. If things go right, this is what's gonna happen. Have it in writing, so at least that artist can know, okay, if it goes wrong, then I've got this to back up. If it goes wrong, then I know that I've got these savings here. If it goes wrong, then I've got enough information to be able to carry myself. No, I'm definitely going to get this money, turn up, everything fuck up. Oh, I've not got this money now. I've heard promoters turn around, well, if they've not got their savings and this, that, and the fucking other, well, that's their problem. You're the one who's invested into this business. You're the one who's trying to run the business. You're the one who's trying to build this business. You've got to have enough money to make sure that you're covered just in case something goes wrong. And you can still pay all of your employees that you've brought into the business. If that was RAC, fucking Abbey National, any other normal job, something goes wrong. Oh, well, you're not getting your wages. Well, I can't pay my rent. Well, if you didn't save up your wages beforehand, that's not our problem. That's bollocks. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. As an artist, we didn't cause your event to not do well. So why should we have to pay for it? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I've worked with loads of promoters. I've worked with the promoters that depend on door sales. How many numbers come through the door. And they're promising me, yeah, I can pay you this much. Yes, I can definitely pay you this. Gets to the night, oh, my battery's out, I can't pay you. You shouldn't have put on the fucking event then. You should not have put on the event. You should not have put on the event then. Simple as that. People want to go on like I don't care. Oh, you're just being horrible on the fucking little guy. No, you know what, little guy? If you can't fucking afford to put on an event, don't put other people's livelihoods in jeopardy just because you want to take a fucking chance. Or at least if you are going to do that, then tell everybody what you're doing. Tell everyone what you're doing. Even the big DJs, tell everyone what you're doing. You know what, mate? I really want to try and get this thing off the ground. I've not got much money. I've paid for this artwork. I've paid for this. Yeah, but I've not got the capital to make sure I can pay everyone. We're going to be depending on the door. We're going to be depending on whatever comes in on the door. Are you still able to do it? I can say, yeah, you know what? I get that. No problem. Yeah, I'll do it for you. Just consider it free, innit? Because I don't want to worry about whether you're going to get the money in or not. I've done that. I have done that. Or I can say, you know what? No, I can't do that. I can't really be willing to take the risk. I hope your night goes well. I hope you get enough for people through the door. But I'm not willing to take that chance. Big ups, bless up for the future. Give the artist that fucking information. Give the artist that information. Give the artist that choice. Instead of blowing smoke up the arse, promising the fucking world, and then when your butt is out, you've got man vexed with you, wanting to box you in your face because you've not kept up with your end of the fucking bargain. Oh, why can't you pay me? Oh, well, we've not got enough people through the door. Well, why didn't you have enough money in the bank to make sure you can pay me instead of depending on the door? Oh, well, you know, we're a small event. We're just trying to ting, you know. We're trying to build something. Invest in your shit then. Why are you lying to me to get me on your event to build your profile when you know you can't fucking pay me? And then I'm a dickhead because I won't cooperate with you. Fuck off, man. Look. Verbal contracts, fuck them. All verbal contracts, fuck them. Fuck them. Whether it's from a label, whether it's from events, doesn't matter. No one is exempt. Nobody is exempt. No one. No one, especially not with me going forward. Especially not with me. And I don't care if people think I'm this, that, or the other. It's down to whether I can fucking trust you or not. And if you're not willing to give me that confidence in black and white with your signature and my signature on there, why the fuck should I give you my hard-earned time? My work that I've invested in. My time that I put into my vocals. The lyrics that I wrote is another thing. Is a fucking... Woo-hoo-hoo! Here's another one. Right, producers. Poor fucking producers, yeah. That even though you don't fucking sing or you don't rap, you think you can tell singers and rappers what to do with their vocals, how to present their vocals, how to mix their vocals. You want to treat people, you want to treat MCs and singers like they're a byproduct, like they're fuck all to do with the music that we have just created. This shit needs to stop. It needs to fucking stop. It was only a couple of years ago that DRS and the Inja made the point of putting MCs on the same level as the DJs. You think it just stops at events? You think that problem just stops at fucking events, brethren? You're mad. Right, so what? Because we've only got a pen and a pad. the effort and the work that we put into trying to come up with interesting, catchy, thoughtful lyrics and vocals. That doesn't mean shit. What, because you spent £2,000 on a PC and £5,000 on this and 200 quid on some speakers, your effort is more than mine as a vocalist or an MC? What, I can't spend £2,000. I can't spend money to get a microphone as well. I can't spend money to get a PC and fucking speakers as well. So I can record my own vocals. Oh, it's only producers that spend money on equipment, yeah. But then when it comes to the music, it's your effort that's more important than ours. Really? 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 And then when we feel like we're not being respected in the same way that we're respecting you, because you know how sometimes it can take you guys ages to make a tune. Sometimes it can take us ages to come up with a good verse. Sometimes. You see how we're in the same, we're kind of in the same boat. We're in the same boat. You know, like sometimes if I want to get a really good set of vocals out, I have to think about it. Why? Because there's so many people doing vocals, and I might want to come up with something original. Doesn't that sound like when you're producing? There's so many people producing, and you want to come up with something original. So that can take time to come up with something original. So why as vocalists, as MCs, can we not get that same time and consideration if you want us to come up with something amazing? Because a lot of the time, it's not like that. It's never like that. You just want my name. You know how many times I've heard, can you do something like Dirty Like a Bomber? You know how many times I've heard that? I'm a really big fan of yours. Really like your music. Let's get together and work on the tune. Okay, cool. Yeah, really like something. I really want us to do something like Dirty Like a Bomber. So you want me to copy what has already been done before? And if we get arsey about it, then if I get arsey about it, I'm the dickhead. I'm the dickhead. I had a producer hit me up. Big producer. And I'm not going to call out his name because this isn't particularly his fault and that, but I've heard this because I've heard this so many times. So many fucking times. But this producer's hit me up. Really big fan of yours. Would really like to get onto some music. I'm like, wow. I would be honoured to work on something with you. It's like, right, I've got this idea, you know, I really want to make something, you know, of the sound of like dub physics and strategy. Instantly, I thought he was going to say Marker. So I said it, like Marker, exactly like Marker. Instantly, I messaged him back. I don't think I'm the right person for the job. I don't think I'm the right person for this job, for this idea. And that, I love that tune. That tune is close to my heart. I know dub physics and I know strategy. We're not best mates, but I know him. We're from the same scene. We're from the same we're from Manchester. We've kind of all come up together in the scene, even though they started before me. I know them. That song is close to my heart. It was only, I didn't tell him this, but it was only a couple of years ago that I was kicking off about bootlegs because everyone and their dog was bootlegging Marker. Couple of years later, and someone is asking me to make something along the same lines as Marker, and I said to him, I can't do it. I'm not the right person for this job. I'm not the right person for this job at all. You know? And he understood, you know, and we're going to still work on a tune. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the business side of it. Because the business wants something that works, then they push towards people that are doing the same thing that works. Then us as the scene, we start to complain because everything sounds the same until something that's different breaks through, and then everyone wants to do that thing that seems to be working. And then when I don't want to do that, people want to get funny with me. People want to get mad with me. People want to say that I'm bougie, I'm difficult, I'm this or that. Just because I'm an MC. Now, if you're thinking, yeah, but you produce as well, Dilly. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because I can see it from both sides. This is what you producers that only produce, you guys need to understand. The vocalist and the MC has an equal part to play in this as well. And when it comes to vocals, right, here's an example. Hybrid Minds. Now, a lot of people think Hybrid Minds is the more commercial side of drum and bass, the more mainstream side of drum and bass, because it's a lot of piano chords and a lot of vocals, a lot of more commercial sounding songs and stuff like that. So you don't really hear a lot of their music in the clubs, in the raves, yeah? But you know that they're doing very fucking well for themselves. And that's not because they're chasing the mainstream side of it. No, it's not. It's because a relatable vocal, there is nothing more emotive in the world than a sweet, relatable vocal. Which species of human does that best? Women. They have the better singing voices. Now, put that on drum and bass. Make more songs that are aimed at the audience rather than the club, and they are going to do well. This is a problem that the drum and bass scene has. We focus too much on the club, and then we complain that we don't make money. And then these labels end up penny pinching out of you, because the club music is only going to go so far. Or that won't work in the club. That singy-songy tune won't work in the club, so I'm not going to sign that. I'm gonna go for the funk horn, carbon copy, tried and tested bangers, because that's gonna work. And then they wonder why people say there's no money in fucking music. There's no money in music. Again, I released 4 tunes myself. No big machines. No big playlist placements. No big DJs pushing my tunes for me. And I've got a nice little change sat in a pot that I can't touch until I reach a threshold. Imagine if I did push him. Imagine if I did get the playlist placements. Imagine if I did get the DJs putting it out and it's on my label. How much money will I be making for myself? Everyone wants to talk about money in this thing. Everyone's chasing the money in this thing, but nobody's willing to do it the right way. No one is willing to do it the right way. And then the ones that do it the right way, they don't get a fucking look in. They're held back because everyone else is willing to be fucking cutthroat and step on man than actually do things properly. Why? Because they're selfish and they want to get everything that they can get for themselves. This is the purpose of a label. But these are old school tactics. These are old school policies and tactics. You know why? Because we have the internet now. We have the internet now. And if you can put in enough work to build your own audience, yes, use a label to help build your audience. But make sure you have a contract before you sign with the label. But use that label as a stepping stone to build your audience. Don't depend on that label. Because before you even get a fucking look in, before you even see a penny, that label is depending on you first. That label is depending on your music making enough money to build that label's profile off the back of your work. Use these labels, but make sure you're building an audience to direct them back to yourselves. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not saying that I'm not going to sign to any labels anymore. No, if the label is doing things properly, yeah, man, I'll sign with them. I'll work with them. No problems. No problems. If they've laid out everything that's going forward from here on out, before I give them the tune and signed on the dotted line, if I agree with it, cool, there's no problems there. There's no problems there. And like I said, it helps them, it builds them their profile, because I'm bringing my audience to their label, and then the audience that the label has, I'm being exposed to them, and then I can bring parts of that audience back to me, and I can release my music as well, self-release my music, and still get that same praise, that same recognition, that same audience, and that same money that I deserve. That's how we should be moving in this music thing. That's how we should be moving. That's how we should be building things up for ourselves, not for a fucking label. Not for a label. We're in 2021 and we've seen all these big pop stars that have been exclusively signed to Warner Brothers, Polydor, Island, Universal. And they all get to a point where they're like, no, I want to leave. I don't like how this label is dealing with me and my music. I want to leave, and then they can't leave. People in drum and bass, we do not have to go by those standards. We do not have to do that. We have the internet now. We put the work in, instead of depending on the label to put the work in for us, we can actually get more of the gain that we want for ourselves. But everything has to be dealt with proper from the beginning. And you can't trust the word of someone who is not willing to do that for you. You can't trust that word. That label already knows what to do. You don't. You are coming into their area, their arena, their house. They are in control. Yet they want to make money off your work, your back. What does that mean? That means you are the one they need. That means they need you. You don't need them. They want you to believe that you need them, but it is the other way around. Because if they didn't have the music, they wouldn't have a fucking label. They would not have a label. Please listen, please, because it's not about whether or not I'm bitter about what I'm getting or what I'm not getting. I don't care. I've never cared about the money side of it. I have never cared about the money side of it. Never. I just want my music out there, but I also don't want to be taken the piss out of. I also don't want to be fucked over. I also don't want my kindness to be used as weakness and then twisted around and dashed in my face. Oh, well, you said it was okay. We agreed to it. You know, verbally. You said it was all right in the beginning. What's the problem now? Because now I'm actually taking a look into things and it's all fucked. But you knew this from the beginning. You knew this from the beginning. You knew this from the beginning. I didn't. That's what they prey off. But today, in 2021, we have the internet. The power is actually in your hands. You want all these riches and shit like that. You can get it. You've just got to build up the profile. Do not sign in any exclusive contracts. Never sign any exclusive contracts. Never sign with a label that's not willing to give you a contract. Take the time to read through it all, because you don't know how they're trying to twist things around more into their favor. And when you're signing to a label, it is always more in their favor. Even when it's a 50-50 split. Remember, the 50-50 split comes after the costs are paid. How are the costs paid? By releasing your music. If that's the case, you need to know what you're paying for, because it's your work that is paying for these costs. They want to say that they're investing in what? They're investing too, but they're getting paid back before you get paid back. They're using your music to pay themselves back before you see anything. That is not 50-50. That's not 50-50. That's making sure their costs are covered and then they get 50% of the profit. That's more 75-25 in their favor. Think about this, people. Think about this truly. Because these people don't want you to think about this. They don't want you to think more about it. They don't want you to dig deeper into the details. They don't want you to know everything that's going on behind the scenes, because if you know everything, then you might as well be a partner, and they don't want to be partners with you. Because if it's a partnership, then it truly is 50-50, and they can't make money off you. So no more, please, no more verbal contracts. Do not deal with any more verbal contracts. Everything has to be in black and white. Take the time to read it over. Take the time to make sure you understand everything. Because at the end of the day, it's your music. It's your art. It's your craft. It's your time that you put in. It's your blood, sweat and tears that you have invested. It's your money that you have invested buying the equipment. Everything starts with you. Everything starts with you, your music, your art. So why is it that you are not the first person that's considered? Everything else is considered before you, yet everything starts with you. Oh. I'm gonna go for a walk and a spliff. I'm gonna leave this up so everyone can watch it back if you've missed it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? There is more. There's a lot more. You know, and if you follow me on Facebook, if you follow my fan page, Diligent Fingers, you'll be able to read about it there, because I'm not holding my tongue on any of this anymore. I keep speaking to people and they're going through similar situations like me, and I keep hearing that dreams are shattered. I keep hearing that, oh, they were treated as if they were family and this, that and the other, and then when it came down to it, that whole family vibe is gone. They want to talk about loyalty, but then when it comes to loyalty to them, when it comes to loyalty to the artist, that loyalty is nowhere to be found. They want to talk about mutual respect. Yeah, we deserve respect. But you're not giving the artist respect in the first place, because all you're thinking about is what you can make off this artist. That's it. 2021. We have the internet, we have all the tools that we need to be able to build a profile. I'm not saying don't sign to labels. Sign to labels. Make sure that your bases are covered. Make sure you agree with everything. So make sure you're signing a contract before anything goes out. Don't just take a verbal fucking contract, man. They're not worth the paper that they are printed on. Use these labels to build your audience. So then the audience are coming direct to you. And then the money that you want, same as Boo. Look at Boo. Boo is a prime example. He's built up his audience through some fucking shaky means, but he's built up his some dodgy shit, but he's built up his audience, and now he's at the point where he can release music on his own label and he's getting all the benefit. That's where we want to be as artists. But you should not have to compromise yourself along the way to get into that point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So yeah, man. I'm going to end this rant here and that. Go outside. See if I can do some roller skating. You know, little bit training once again. But yeah, man, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I hope you get it. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and I just don't look like I don't look like a crazy guy that's just ranting and shit. And that. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and as always, blessings to you all.